Welcome back to the GLAC Studios oil painting tutorial. I am Gomati Sivasankaran. We are working on a large canvas painting, Ardhanareeshwarar painting, half man, half woman, God painting, and we are starting with a new section that is the final section of this tutorial. Layer 5 today. This is awesome, and you have reached the 24th hour of this class also, isn't it? This is the 24th class. So welcome back, and I hope you have enjoyed working with me on this painting and have learned something with this painting, grown with this painting. This is a blessing in disguise for us, isn't it? To learn and grow along with Shiva and Shakti. So today, let's just summarize what we have done all along. We started with a blank canvas, 80 by 60 centimeter canvas, and then we researched on what to do, references, multiple references. How do we juggle around with that, and so on. Then we did the layer one, which was a wash. The layer two was a bit more than a wash because it was also involving the drawing. We drew the superstructure of what are the key characters and how are they going to appear, where exactly, and so on. We did that, and then we filled or blocked. Just like the way children fill colors, we did the filling, and that was our layer two. Once that was over, there was something kicking in that's called dimension and detail. But how did we do it? We just blocked it in sections. We did it in sections, isn't it? The third section or the layer three was really about starting with that dimension, showing two tonalities instead of just one monotone in an area. And then we moved on in layer 4, which we have completed with the last class, where we gave more depth and dimension. Maybe not just two tonalities, three or four tonalities wherever required. There is no necessity that we must have five tonalities or four tonalities or whatever. No, we have to just look at each and every object. Does it deserve a couple of tonalities? Yes. If it deserves six or seven ranges, yeah, we must do it also. So that's how we did it, isn't it? So that's how we have been growing along. And right now we are in this stage of starting with the final section. And let me stress this one more time. I might have mentioned it many times that this section, by the end of this section, are we completing this painting? Yes and no. Yeah. So I am, for the purpose of your understanding and your growth, I am structuring the course material in such a way that we complete. And I usually also do complete a painting within, these many layers on an average. But there have also been cases where I had to work more than that, more than the average number of layers that I work, which I will do if needed. I do. And this is really about you keeping a balance between what you're really passionate about, where exactly do you want to go, and what exactly is expected out of the painting. Yeah. So keep a balance between that, then it is easier. If you are someone by this range, you're thinking, no, I am not at all satisfied, I would like to have more reality and more more details, I am not satisfied with this. I would say that this is also a realization for you through this experience, that you have figured out that, yeah, yes, I can do this and maybe I want to do more. So you will choose to do projects accordingly. You will pick up projects accordingly. And when you are looking at that, you will know how to break it down into 10 layers or 20 layers or whatever to do it in that manner. Yeah. So this is a guidance sort of for you to even take it further if you want. Yeah. um and for someone who says, no, you're already showing me a complete painting and I wouldn't work more than that, that's also something that you could think of and say, okay, I'm not someone that will go into too much detail. So this is, yeah, more telling you about what kind of a artist you want to be, isn't it? So every time you pick up a tutorial like this, Y- of course, I also have picked up and I still do pick up tutorials to learn from. Um, and when I do, I keep a balance between, do I want to really copy or learn every single nuance of what the artist is teaching me, or do I, want to grow on my own in my own way, adapt few of the techniques that I've learned from the artist and mix it with what I know and grow my own idea. So that's something, you also will have to choose. I think by this time you would have already figured out who you are as a personality, as an artist, and what are your preferences. You might have gone back to some of the sections in my tutorial and said, hey, I like that, and might have said some of them, no, 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 I would rather skip that. So it doesn't and tell you anyway that you are not a good student or something. It's just that your tastes are different. Yeah. So and that is perfectly okay. Yes, that is perfectly okay that you have a different taste about it. And it is very good if you have I mean, I will feel very happy if you have used these tutorials to find your own way and say, this is me as an artist and this is what I would do. With all that fantastic, start, let's get started with the final round for these, sections for the painting, the layer 5. And for the final layer, what I would do in terms of materials, nothing new. You have seen it all, I think. Nothing new in terms of materials. The same materials will be coming into play most of the time. Only thing I would do differently is that you will notice that I'm using a little more of oil. Remember, I always say, oh, plate less, let's, less is more and don't make it flow around and so on. So this technique, what I'm doing is, you can also call it glaze, and that's exactly the name of my company, Glaze, GLAC. I named it based on that only. So glazing is a technique where you're going to use this layer. So what you see right now is going to exist. It's going to be viewable. You're going to glaze it with a little more oil, so it shines out and it pops out in places where you want it to, and pushes things back where you want things to be going backwards and so on. Those dynamics you will get to see in this nuances layer 5. Yeah. So that's what I would be doing more of. But when we are talking about using a little more oil, what we should be doing, we should be extra careful. Maybe you want to have a little more of, tissue papers around, or earbuds, clean earbuds around to help you, control the flow from, from the places where you are targeting towards some other places where you don't want it to go. Yeah. So you will have to keep a balance on that. um yeah, I will show you in detail how things are coming up also. Yes. So with all that, let's get started, and we are going to get started with who? Shiva, of course. Yes. Let's get started with him. So in terms of the color, so there's not going to be much of difference. We are going to use the same Prussian blue, titanium white. We will use burnt umber and black to darken. And these ranges will be the ranges that we have been using. So nothing new. Hmm? It's just the technique that's going to be slightly different, and I'm going to catch it just so fine in a short while. Yeah, I am going to bring this camera to the front. Yes, fantastic. And let's see. Yeah, good. And I am moving this also slightly towards me. This is really in the front. Okay, good. So in my palette, I already have a bit of Prussian blue, titanium white, ivory black, also burnt umber is there. Yeah, if needed. So I guess I do not have to do a refill for now. I guess I am ready. I am going to mix the colors a little bit. So let me try to move this camera around. Yes. Okay. So you get to see what I'm mixing here. Hmm. I'm not mixing my coffee, but I'm going to mix something here. And I don't think I will need bigger brushes again, the same small brushes that we are using, brushes number 2, 3. Yeah, this is 3. Yes, I'll stick to this. So it's going to be a bit of Prussian blue taken here. And I'm going to take a little more on the oil. So not too much, you don't want it to be flowing. I just take a little more of the oil, take a bit of titanium white and blend it in here. So I get the lighter skin tone that we already had. I want it to be even more lighter, so on the lighter front. So the more lighter and the more darker, the extremes of the tonalities, if I have to mention it right, yeah. So the extremes of the tonalities is what we are going to target. So there is one extreme here. This is lighter. I'm going to check it right here. It's almost the same. It's almost the same. So I could go boldly a little more lighter. It is almost the same that I have been painting. I can sense that. So I will take a little more, lighten it up even further. So it's on the real lighter side. Taking a bit more of the oil. So it is fluid. It is fluid, but it's not really running consistency that it's going to flow. It is fluid, much more, it will be opaque, but it won't flow. So I still will have my control. It will not flow in other places. So I keep a balance in that way. So it's not that I'm going to pour oil on top of this palette. No. So I'll do this. This is a nice consistency, and I'm going to check one more time. So it is lighter, and I feel that this is the right color. So I have the lightest of the color. For the darkest color, we don't need to test too much. We just want it to be really dark. So I am taking my brush zero, again Prussian blue, taking a little bit of here and throwing it in very close to the black, mixing it. Again, I will need a bit more of oil. Burnt umber also to have it really on the darker side. So I think this is slightly on the flowy consistency. I might take a bit more of oil. But it is not going to be thoroughly flowing. So it's on it's good look liquid, but it's not going to flow fast. So I have both ready. Let's play. And let me move the camera back to Shiva. Yes. So let's play. Let's start with an area that's not going to be, too risky. So I'm going to do the mm, tummy first. And I usually like to use my fingers. And for the benefit of those who aren't so much keen on using fingers, I'm going to show it with the help of a earbud. So it also helps that you have an earbud next to you to just blend it in. So it's a dry canvas on which you are blending in, yeah. And I am assuming that all these sections that you are working on along with me are sections that you are also satisfied with and there are no corrections. But in case you are going to correct something, do correct it. Focus on the correction first and then you come back to this kind of flowy consistency. Yeah. So right here. So this is bringing these highlights around, and I'm going to do that ever so lightly in the hands also. Mhm. And the best way to do it is also to use the smaller brushes. I think I will try with my micro brush. The zero brush also will do. I'm going to stick to my micro brush to try. So if I'm going to do the fingers, now you will see that detail coming up, okay? So let me show you here. So now I highlight in such a manner that you will see that. Remember, we have these, spaces, the lines in between. So this is the flesh that you see that these are three parts that you could actually show in terms of a detail right now in this level of work that you are doing. If you highlight in the right manner, you'll start showing that there is this space in between, or the folds in the finger, ever so lightly, and you're not taking too much of color because we know that we will spoil the painting if you make it flow around. You don't want it to happen, that's why. And even if you are not seeing much of a difference now, the moment you start using the darkest of the tonalities, yes, very soon you're going to see that and say, oh my God, is that how? And it's so different. Yeah? And remember, we are going to do one more thing on top of this. So it's going to be wet and you're going to be working on this also. Remember that. What is it? I think there is some symbol in her hands that we haven't done. Let's go back to the reference. Yeah? Shortly after we are done with the highlighting. Yeah. So I'm using now the darkest of the color, isn't it? So I'm going to be very, very, very cautious about where I'm going to highlight. And you can also blend them in. Yeah, if you want blended in, you don't need to show it. So I am actually highlighting outside of the hand in the places where it has to go even darker. So automatically the hand comes to the front. So I'm just doing that. I'm going to use a earbud to blend the colors. Huh? So that's what I'm doing here. So I have darkened it up. So it's not the hand. I'm actually doing the sides of the hand. If you see. And when it comes to the finger, let's do the detail ever so lightly. Do that very thin, you want to show that there is this fold in the finger. These are tiny nuances. So this section is all about nuances and not, too much about, doing a full painting. We are done with that in a way. We are working on the details. We are working on the nuances to see how can we enhance this painting further. So that was the hand. Okay, once the hand is done, we could do. I'm going to go around and do these two colors first, and then come back to the hand where there is a mark in the hand that we'll have to work on, and also we'll have to do the eye, the third eye of Shiva. So we'll have to do all that as well, isn't it? So it's a lot of work to be done. So let's go ahead with the lighter tonalities. And I'm going to do that right now on the shoulder area. Okay, I like this space. I think I will go with my brush number 3 because it's even more helpful here to highlight. So highlighting the space even further. Whatever you say, I like it when I use my fingers. It's not so good habit. Um, if you are doing it, use also what do you call gloves or something. It's even safer. I've got that nice highlights here on the hands. So we did it ever so lightly on the tummy and the chest area. The lighter tonalities are, I'm not doing too much of a lighter tonality on the hand that is behind because I want the difference to show up. So I'm not deliberately not doing too much there. Maybe a little bit here on the elbow of that hand and on the hand itself. Yeah. I think I will make a stop with that lighter tonalities. So I'm going to take the darker tonality again. Start working on some of those edges. Would be better. I want to blend a little bit here on the back of the hand here. That's what I want to blend in, and I don't want it to be looking so sharp there. Trying to find another clean brush so I could blend that. This is brush number 1. It's helping. Yes, it's helping me. Yeah. I'm going to blend it so it doesn't look so obvious there. Yes. Okay. Sharply done. Blending it one more time here because it was totally, somehow it was totally black and I wanted it to be on the Prussian blue side. So I've just added a little bit of Prussian blue and playing with it. Mhm. So that's done. Can be blended better. Right. When you're blending, if you're missing those lines, you can the ash lines that I made, or you can also do it again. Mhm. Right. Okay. The shoulder, the hand is fine, and let's go over the hip area one more time. Okay. So we are not working it on the face. We will come to that. And that's going to be an interesting task right now. Nicely blended here. All good. I'm going to check the hands one more time before I get on to the, upper part of the body. Mm, we did this, isn't it? We did the hand as such, but the shoulder area, we could do a little more of highlighting. So I'm just going to go over the shoulder area one more time. Sharpen it, yeah. So I'm darkening it first. I'm going to use the brush number 1 to blend that in ever so lightly, and so that it doesn't really strongly stay there as a color. Mm, it looks good. Blend it inwards. We don't want the mountains to cast that blacky, burnt umber blue. Mm. Mm-hmm. That is sharpened now. Yes. Let's do the sharpening of the arm, the second arm there. Yes. So I think we did this angle. Let's do this. Hmm. Okay. I'm I'm drawing those contours first boldly, but I'm going to blend them in. Okay. With that Prussian blue mixed with burnt umber and black, and that's what is giving this sharp contours that I'm building right now. If it looks good and you want to leave it like that, you could, but try learning to blend as much as you can. So the dark, comes like a, part of this body where there isn't much of a light. Right. I guess this is looking fine now. Let's go to the complex area, the face and the neck. So every time we start with the face and the neck, but this time we're going in the other direction just to, help you relax with the mm, brush and also get the nuance understanding right. So we have this ready. Face is now on the focus. So we know the lighter tonalities and the darker tonalities very well. Where are we going to highlight? Let's highlight the cheek area a little bit and also the chin. I don't want to highlight too much on the ear, but as I want to do the nose, be very careful. You don't want to spoil the whole thing. Yeah, and maybe in between those, I don't want too much of oil there because I want that space to be clean for the third eye to come up. Yeah, that's the challenge there. And I'm doing a little bit on the neck area. Slight highlights here. Let's do the dark. Hmm. Yes. Where are the dark things going? I'm going to start with the chin first, huh? And the neck. Mhm. The face, I'm going to boldly use that to bring the color, give a slight angle to Shiva's face so that it is, very slightly looking different from Shakti's face. Mm, we did play around with the neutral idea, isn't it? So we'll have to now bring in that slightly, manly looking side of the face. We have carried out the, feminine side well. I think we can convert this also nicely like that. Mhm. And now for I'm taking burnt umber more in the brush and going over the eyebrow one more time, the eyes one more time. Be very careful with that, and you're going to start suggesting some eyelashes as well now. So it's going to be minor effort, but tiny, tiny. You don't want it to look totally on the side of, feminine looking eyelashes, deep, curly eyelashes. No, it's going to be slightly suggestive, thin strokes there, and not too much. So that kind of covers it. So it's really not too much work there. So that's done, and I'm going to. The third eye isn't very clearly defined in any of these reference pictures. So if I have to just, put it very simply, We are going to draw this eye, only half of the eye, hmm, the upper half of the eye, but in this direction, right here on the spot where you between the eyebrows, upwards. This is called our Ajna Chakra, the third eye. And it is there for all of us that we cannot see. Yeah, it's just about having the third eye of intuition open, and he's got it open. Yeah, we all have it, and he is just symbolically, highlighting the importance of having it open. So let's do this. So I'm going to be very carefully using the same color, the darker tonality, to first build the eyeball, half of the eyeball. Hmm. So I'm just making that dot here, half of it done. I'm going to use the micro brush. I think I have another color. That's the lighter blue color that's there. So I'm going to use that. Um, keep it ready for titanium white to go slightly on the on the bottom and the top. So another couple of dots coming on the bottom and on the top. So just imagining the reverse of this eye, yeah, upper half of the side. So just doing that bottom and the top. One dot, half of a circle in the blacky blue color, and two small dots, one on the top, one on the bottom. That's what we have done so far. And now, ever so lightly, I'm going to take the other zero brush with the Prussian blue, blacky blue. Yeah, I'm going to go over and make that eye kind of a line. It is blending with the white and the lighter colors, which will happen, but just so lightly. If you start doing it, you will get this. Hmm? So the third eye is now open for Shiva. He's still smiling. Usually, it's believed that when the third eye is open, he's totally angry. He knows more. Yeah, but it could also be open because he sees our soul, isn't it? So he is happy. All the effort that we are all making, you see. Yeah. So congratulations, we opened his third eye. Hmm? So that's the simplest form of the third eye that I have done because I couldn't get it. I mean, the way it is done, I think there are more complex approaches to that. So I'm just doing it in the simplest form because there is no clarity in the reference also. Or maybe if you are, expanding it, because you don't see the full eye. The other side is, Shakti's side, and it's a beautiful dot. And we'll do another thing for her when we come to her side. Yeah. So we did that. The lip we will work on when we come to Shakti's lip as well. But then I'm just going to work on the highlights here with the darker tonality. Hmm. I see slight room for improvement with the ear. I think I'll do that when I do the hair. So that is handling this section, and let's come back to the hand. Hmm. What is there in the hand? It's a beautiful Om in the hand that I wanted to do like this. And I think we drew that also ever so lightly. The Om is like a number three, and the number three has a sweet little tail in the back. And then there is a slight, small, dash and a dot. So that's the Om. For those who do not know, I think most of you are right now, with all the um, social media and updates on yoga and so many things available. You all know very well about the Om. Maybe you haven't tried it, but you know very well, I assume. So let's take a little bit of what is going to be the color. Vermilion. Yes, let's do that. So I'm taking vermilion and making the mark. Okay, where is the Om? The three going to start. I'm going to make him come up here. It is mixing with the blue and getting into a pink. Not worried about it. I'll rework on it. Right now, I'm just focusing on getting the pattern right. Hmm? Okay. Hmm. Okay. So I'm just doing this number three sort of a thing. Hmm? And now the three is going to have a tail. So I'm just doing that. On top of that tail comes this. It's not a dash. It's like a semicircle. Not even semicircle. Quarter circle. And then comes a dot on top. That was done. So let's now. I am going to make it even more stronger coming out because it's turning pink as expected because of the lighter color tonality. You could also wait for this to dry and do it later. If you're particular about the color mixing, you don't want it to happen. Yes, you can. Mm. And then the dot. Yes. So the Om is now done. I am going to make a check on the lightness of the face and also the ash marks, the vibhuti marks, the ash marks. Going to take a touch of titanium white to go over that tip of the nose and on the cheek and on the chin. I want it to be highlighted even more. We had the earbud to blend things in, blend it ever so lightly. Giving some more light on the face and on the chin, on the tip of the nose. So there is this white, going in. At least in my case, I have made it spread accidentally into Shakti's area. I want to just ever so lightly remove that. Anyways, we will work on that as well when we are done with the bus face. So there is this highlight rightly done. Mm. Using a slight red the vermilion base, also mixing it ever so lightly in the third eye. So it's just, getting even stronger. It looks slightly different. It is different, but mm. So I guess this is looking fine. Mhm. Let's now move on to the leg area. Yes, we are not fully done. But before we do that, I want to check one more thing. Oh yeah, I did say that the ashes, I want to check the ash marks, vibhuti marks. And those are, it's just this black mixed with white, isn't it? So those are slightly grayish on the front. Grayish white lines. Mm, this is okay. I think these are nicely done. Mm. Okay, let's come to the ones on the hands then. Okay, the one on the shoulder. Hmm. And the ones on the arms. Now that this is done, there is one more thing to be checked. What is that? The highlights of the darker tonalities coming around the snake. So that's where, the snake's shadow is falling. So I'm blending a little bit of that bluey black out there. I don't have too much in my brush, so I'm able to blend it with the zero brush itself. So I'm not bothering about, a earbud or anything. And also, we need to do the same thing, highlighting on top of the Rudrakshamala, or on the bottom of it. Depends on, which angle you are showing. That's where the darkness is. I'm just darkening things up here. Hmm. Under the mala here, these two malas that are really down, I want to show it in the opposite angle. So I'm just doing highlights here, blending it in. Yes, these ones. Okay. I guess we managed fine here in terms of the darker highlights. I'm just double checking on the fingers before we are moving to the leg. Okay, I think we are doing good. We are going to work on the leg. There is one more thing though. One last thing with the ever so light white, huh? Titanium. And I will tell you because these fingers are, shown this way, and these fingers are folded conveniently. But there is this thumb. So half of the thumb is showing, meaning there is the nail that must show, isn't it? Yes, these small little nuances do matter. Let's do that. So the nail is showing. We did that, and let's now move to the leg finally. Okay. Wow. Slightly up. Hmm. Okay. So this one. Hmm. The lighter tonality, we know where to highlight the way. A bit on the knee, on the sides of the thigh, the leg, front of the leg, and maybe the finger, the toes, sorry, the toes. So let's do the blending in now. Huh? I'm much into using my finger. So this is what we are doing is slightly we are glazing. So there is little more than necessary level of oil, cold pressed linseed oil involved here. But it is just changing the game here, giving that slight highlight. So that is about the third layer, isn't it? So I'm just blending it in. Mm-hmm. If you are using the finger just like me, remember to wash your hands thoroughly. Mm. So let's do the darker highlights with the zero brush going underneath the, yeah, this area. This section can be darkened boldly because I will go over that with the feathers or the fur later on. So it is like, doing the contours one more time when you're highlighting like this. But just be careful that we are going to blend it also nicely well into that. Yeah. So I think I will blend just like that with my zero brush. Nicely done. So now I'm going to work on this slightly lifting it so I can bring it to the front for you to see. So I'm going to now do the contours of the toes. Remember the slight bend that you want to show. It's ever so light, but you want to show that bend. Yeah? Mhm. And now, yeah, the nails in the toe. Don't make it totally titanium white. I'm using the color that we mixed for the ashes, so it's not totally bright white. It is slightly on the off-white side, yeah. Mhm. Okay. Does that suffice? It looks like we managed fine with this. Mhm. Okay, let's make a stop with this. Bringing it down for you. Pushing it. I'll also do this, pushing it away so that you are able to get a overall picture of how things are. Okay, good, fantastic. So let's make a stop and summarize what we did today. Today's session was the starting point of layer 5, and you figured out that layer 5 isn't magic or rocket science. Is just a matter of using a bit more oil than necessary and creating slightly fluidity around so you're able to do highlights, um, and glazing, basically glazing on top of the layers that we have done so far. So we did that, and we also did few more additions that wasn't there, like very minor strokes there on the eye to show the eyelashes, the third eye, yeah, of Shiva, and we did the Om symbol as well. So all these things we added to the nuance, yeah. So as we move on in this section, you will see that we are only enhancing the layer for when we are using the colors. We are only enhancing, we are glazing more, and we are adding further more details to some spaces where it is needed, wherever it is needed. So that's what we will be doing, and that is a summary of what we have done in our session. The next session, of course, we will begin with Shakti's side and do the same thing and bring her also to the front. We will do that and then see how far we go with it, moving on to the other areas slowly, steadily, just like as we did, and seeing this painting to a finish line. Thank you very much for following me so far, and do share your comments, your feedback, your concerns, queries to us, support at theglazestudio.dk. If you have any specific questions, or if you're really concerned that your painting is totally away from what you see here or what you see in the references, you'd like a personal call, Zoom or a Teams call, do also mention specifically what is it you are looking for and what the concern is, and with a picture. So it's even more helpful for me to figure out where things are and see how I could help you in your journey. Yes. Thank you very much. Let's meet in the next session. See you. Stay blessed. Stay healthy. Bye bye.